Hello everyone, welcome to LaTeX tutorials. In this video, I am going to show you how to construct a simple table in a LaTeX document. Here I have considered article as the document class. Let me generate some junk text by using the Lipsum package. Here I will be generating 8 paragraphs. Let me save it and show the junk text. Right. So I have some text. In fact, there are 8 paragraphs taken from the Lipsum package. Now coming to the table, there are multiple ways of creating a table in LaTeX. However, the best way as what I see is to use both the table as well as tabular environment. To start with, start by giving the command /begin table. Automatically, the complete environment is replaced here. Let me delete this content line. Here, I'll use the command centering because I want the table to be center aligned. Coming to the next line, I will use another environment called as tabular. Right? So you can see this is the tabular environment, and the most important thing here is this particular content which represents the columns. Here you can decide how many columns you want. For example, if you want, let us say 3 columns, then as per the alignment of text in that corresponding column, you can either give L, C or R. L stands for left aligned column, C stands for center aligned column, and R stands for right aligned column. You can have all of them as left aligned, right aligned or center aligned as per your wish. You can also include more number of columns if you want as per your requirement. For this illustration, I will just consider 3 columns, and that is why I have used 3 L's in this particular example. Coming to the content, you start by writing the contents of the table row by row. For example, let me first have a row which only represents the text description of the corresponding column. For example, the first column text description is called as serial number. And to go to the next column, you have to put an ampersand. Ampersand creates a separation between one and another column. In the next column heading, I will call it as name. Once again, ampersand. And here I will write USN, which is for usually university seat number. To complete that row, you have to put double slash here, and the double slash indicates end of the corresponding row. You have to be very careful here because you have, as per what you are given here, 3 columns. So you can only have 3 columns here. And at the end of the third column, there is no need of ampersand, simply double slash would do. Let me just save it and show you how this appears. Right, we can see we have a table here. The first column says serial number, second one says name, and the third one says USN. But what is missing in this one is lines. We do not have vertical lines separating the columns. That obviously is an optional thing in LaTeX. However, if you do want, then you have to give this command separating each of the characters that represent the columns. Let me now just save it and show how the lines would appear now. You can now see we have lines appearing before and after each column. What else is missing? Horizontal lines. To put horizontal lines, you have to start before the very first line, which is our text description or the table heading for each column. So what I will do is I'll give a command called as /hline, which stands for horizontal line. This will create a horizontal line before this row. If you want another line just after this row, then you have to give another command by /hline. Now if you save it and run it, you will understand we have lines appearing both vertically and horizontally in the table. In this way, you can construct however number of rows and columns you want. If you want horizontal lines appearing after each row, then you must give the hline command after every single row. However, for column you don't need because we already have given that command in this part of the table. Let me now just add a few more rows for illustration. First column is serial number, I'll call it as 1. Then we have the column separation, which is ampersand. Then we have the name, I'll say XYZ. Then the column separation ampersand, and USN I will say ABC123. Then to complete that row we have to put a double slash. If I want a line after this row, then I have to give /hline command. Then come to the second row, give a serial number, now this is 2, again table separation, once again the name, this time I will call it as YZF, again column separation, then we have ABC124, which is the USN for, let us say, that candidate. Again end of the line, which is double slash, and lastly to complete the table we want one more hline command. This completes the content of the table. Let us now save and run it. Right, you can now see we have serial number column, name column and USN column. We have 3 columns and each column is separated by a vertical line, and that is why you are seeing these vertical lines. And after and before each row we have hline command, and therefore we also have horizontal lines spanning each row of the table. Most importantly, the content of the text in each column is aligned as per the command that is given here. Please note here you have mentioned L, which stands for left justification. If I change it to R, let me just save and illustrate. You can see the first column will be now right justified. Look at the first column, the text is now right justified. To show how the center justification looks, I'll change this command here. Once again I'll save it and show you. Right, so there is a slight change. So now we have 3 columns. The first column is right justified, the middle column is center justified, and the last column is left justified. You can change the values of these commands as per your requirement. Another important thing that is always associated with the table is the table caption, which is usually the description of the table. You can either include the description above the table or below the table. It is quite standard to put the description above the table. So to put a figure description here, so I am going to this line just after centering, and I am going to create a caption for it. And the name of the table, let me call it as student details. Save it, run it. You see, now you have the table description along with the table number. The LaTeX by default gives an identifier which is in the form of the table number for each table that is created. If in future you want to cross-reference this table, then at the end of the tabular command, you can add a label. The label is nothing but a key or a simple identifier given to the table. For example, what I will do, I'll call it as table_stu details. So this is my table identifier. Let me save it. This is not going to change anything in the table. This is only an identifier that is given to the table so that you can cross-reference this table in the text in any later form. Right. That's about creating a very simple table in LaTeX document. In my next video, I will provide more information as to how to customize a table using multi-row and multi-column commands. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.